And now it would be nice if I were to tell you how various people became free from evil and what this enemy, the evil, has already damaged in their bodies. Wouldn't it? That would interest you very much. Dear friends, with most of those people I have not said the slightest as to what has happened. You yourself have taken the good to heart. You've taken it in for yourself, and you have been able to convince yourself of it. I believe that this teaching is a better one, that you are first convinced of yourself and of the one to whom you belong, that you are convinced of God. And I say again, trust and believe. It helps, it heals, the divine power. Well, did I just say that Gröning does it? No, you can only do one thing. From God, via Gröning, you can, various people can, when you tell them the truth, they can also receive the good, the pure, divine. Therefore you never healed anyone, but it led people to salvation. I will talk about it, or better said, I will write. I am going to read all of these reports. Well, that is exaggerated. I can't do that. I can only summarize them, explain them in other words, why and for what reason people have received salvation, what you call health. I want to emphasize that. And then you will experience what I, in brief outlines, have said today. For you it's again instructive, and that will be better than if we waste our time here. I tell it to you here in the small circle of friends, and the many of our neighbors get nothing. But once it is written down, then they all can read it. There are those printing presses, you know them, don't you? We can provide you with it later on. Then you have the total explanation. How did man arrive at this evil that he perceived in his body? How did he come to this disorder? How did he live? What was he trying to do during the time his body was disturbed? And how and by what was he freed? That's all. There you have all the 3 points. That is the whole life. Then he has had experiences in life. And how I have gathered them for you, I will reveal afterwards. God grant that I shall get the time, that for once I can also sit down and say to myself, you've stood long enough. Now you can sit down and you can start dictating. However, it is difficult. For me, the day consists of 24 hours. I dictated to my secretary. I called her today. She is still writing on the one dictation I made. She's been writing that for days now. I have to see how I can make time so that I can be on the road. I can't yet relax. I give her a week to 14 days to do this. By that time I'll be home, and then she will get something again. Today she even says, yes, I know, you will again bring a full bag. Well, then I have enough to do until Christmas. Then I say, and even that will not be sufficient. So, dear friends, when you collect a lot, you can also give a lot to other people. But you also need to give away the many collected things that you perceive as evil, don't you? People live in the belief that it would be right that they should now talk about evil. Whoever wants to talk about it, but hasn't had the chance up to now, and will not get that chance today, not here either, let him now go to his doctor and say, well, doctor, there is this and there is that. Just tell him everything. Then you get rid of it, then you are relieved. And after this, you do the right thing. Here we don't talk about that, because the disease is not treated here. Or do you want me to do that, to treat the disease? People present say, no, we don't. Well, that would be a stupid thing to do, to treat the disease, and in addition to speak about it. Yes, friends, that's right. Do you think that you can now manage it all? It is a beautiful task which you have been given. A woman answers, I shall try it. Bruno says, try. And then he says to the audience, if I occasionally ask something, friends, well, you can listen to something, but do not laugh then. You only learn from it, you see. I asked, do you think you can now manage it all? And the answer was, I shall try it. If you only want to try it, friend, that's not good enough. You see, that's not a real commitment. The one who's here to carry out this experiment, or to try it, friends, is not yet ready. Oh no. He has to gain much, much more experience. You pull such a pitiful face here, saying, oh, if I could tell you all that's wrong with me and how it is at home and everything. Well, friends, that is not right, surely not. I do not want to be pitied, and I pity no one either. And I say it just as it is. A person does not need to believe in Gröning. I also tell you that from time to time. He needs to believe in himself, and in all the good that he, the human being, needs for himself, for his body. That is wonderful. Well, do you want to start with it now? Start with yourself? Then it's good. It would be wrong if I say, you must now believe in me and you must believe in everything I have told you. No. With this, dear friends, you have a great mission for the rest of your life, even if we do not meet again. It should be enough for you to do this for yourself, what you owe yourself, to be convinced of yourself, not of Gröning. He only gave you a little push. He just woke something up in you. He has made you more attentive. And now I say, you do not need to believe in him at all. Believe in yourself, though. Isn't that much better? And you are sitting here like this with your legs crossed. I imitate this for you. You see, everyone is content when he has his legs like this. But why? Oh, that will only give him cramps. How can people do this? I'm happy that I can keep my legs at right angles, that they are free. That is how legs must be. I show you how it should be. Yes, when a person sits like this, he loses control. He doesn't have a proper posture. then it doesn't work, of course. I either have a good posture or I don't. I either take in the good or I don't. When I see these bodies, these human beings who sit like this, well, you know, back at home people used to say they are not worth a penny. People really should not do that. They shouldn't sit like that. They shouldn't hang in their chairs like that. And you simply want to go on sitting there like that. It would be just as if I were to stand here like this, right? Or if I were to stand like this, or if I were to stand like that, then you would say, can't he stand up straight? I could say the same thing to you though. Can't you sit up straight? Can't you sit straight and upright? Can't you move your bodies freely? Well, not when you're sitting, of course, but at least you can rest then. Yes, but what do people do? If he could watch himself sitting like this, then he would say, oh, how does that look like? How am I sitting? What am I doing? What do I look like? What sour expression I have on my face? And how do I speak? And you say, I don't even believe, but I need to believe. After all, I must have it. So why am I not doing it? Or whatever else. Please, right now I don't want to mimic you. Sometime soon, though, I will go on stage. I will thread the boards again and I will show you how you live your lives. Then you can visualize it, and then you will say, how sad. You're right. We are just like that. I am just mirror for you, dear friends. I'm mirroring your own lives. I can give it to you even better and easier via the stage, or respectively via film. You will also be able to watch it. One film won't be enough, so there will be several of them, and you will be able to watch them later on. But first I must negotiate everything. I must arrange matters for that a film will be made, whereby I can show you your life in such a way that you say, no, I would rather not want to go on living like that, because then you'll have the opportunity of watching the liars, the deceivers, the cheats, and also those charlatans. You'll get to see everything. Then you will say, yes, I was taken in by someone like that too. If you should regard me as one of those, please go ahead, but it is much better that you convince yourselves. Well, will you keep on trying? Please, you will do it. After all, you owe that to yourself, dear woman. I ask you, dear friends, in this case, just as I've done here, don't make fun of someone. I just had to mirror it. I had to do that. But not to humiliate this dear woman or to discourage her. Not at all. All of us, you as well as I, have drawn a lesson from this, and she has shown us how one should not do it. You understand? We must all be grateful for the mistake this woman has made. The way she spoke and behaved. Do you understand? Don't you? With all of this, you see, with yourselves, meaning how you treat your bodies, we must be grateful to her, because from this one can draw a lesson. Do you have a large mirror at home? In that case, just sit down in front of it and then watch all the mannerisms that have become your habit. Then you will quickly ascertain how silly you look. And you say, "Oh my goodness." And after that, if you have a tape recorder, switch it on and start to talk, quite naturally, about all the things that you normally talk about. And then you'll hear it, and then you'll see it. There should be someone who takes a film of you. If you were to watch that film, you would say, "Is that possible? Is that me? Have I really been that silly? Have I really behaved like that? Have I really talked such nonsense? And what have I caused by doing all this? I said this to that person, that to another person, and to another one something else. To each of them I spoke differently. And what has it achieved? Oh my goodness, it all comes back to me." You see, it all does indeed come back to you. Then you come to your senses, and you say to yourself, "This is something that I must not do anymore." Therefore, to recognize yourself, to first understand yourself, that is important. Most people are no longer happy with themselves. There is so much they don't like. They don't like their body, they don't like their appearance, or they don't like their face, or whatever they may call it, right? They would like to have a different face. They say, "He or she has such a pretty face, I don't. He has got such a good body, I don't. He has got such nice clothes, I don't," and so forth. Yes, he has managed it. He values his body. He doesn't pull such a sour face, and he doesn't look so often in the mirror doing so many things in front of it. No, he doesn't. All he ever does is to keep his body pure, and he works for himself, for his body. All he ever does is to dress it, and what is further around him is nothing more than the divine order. On the other hand, hatred and envy must not arise, dear friends. That will degrade you again. Just do the same good things as he is doing. Go to him and ask, "How did you do this? How come? Because you're always a person who is so happy and full of life." As you have already got to know me better here, you will then also know that I love a good sense of humor, and that I'm all for it. Not only that it will be maintained, but that we also encourage it. You see, not everyone has a good sense of humor, but whoever does have it, he feels good. You've already noticed this too. Once, when you've been moping about, when you were ran down, you were then a humorless person. You didn't want to see or hear anything. But when the good humor returned again, then your relatives or you yourself have said about that person, "Ah, he has got his sense of humor back again." Well, that was a good sign of life, wasn't it? And that's what I would like to experience with you as well. Not that you always sit here like this and mope. Not that you are always ill-humored. Not that you always take in dirt, but rather only the good. And that you just spend time amongst people who really have something good to offer you, and who are also a good example for you, from whom you can still learn something. It is possible that you can't learn enough here from Gröning, who is only a carpenter. That's quite possible. In that case, look for someone else, who is possibly also not the one, But the main thing is that you will find someone who is an example for you, who is truthful, who only gives you the love and the goodness that he has inside of him, who is honest, who does not come to you, butters you up and say, "Should I act that out for you now? Better still, I will get up on the stage. That will be a better way of showing what people are like. Oh, Auntie dear, just listen to me." And then afterwards, behind her back, "I have fooled the old one. She thinks that I'm really like that, but all I want is to inherit from her." And so forth. And how a husband lies to and deceives his wife, and how a wife does the same to her husband, and whatever else that's going on. These hypocrites, these liars, these cheaters. And how good life is when you come across people who only live for the good, who only have the good inside them, who carry within them a genuinely true, a great love, the love of God. You know, friends, that when this happens, you are meeting with people who really take delight in life, and who are truly happy people, and who really are an example for everyone. And here someone's religions, someone's nationality, and someone's job really plays no role, not even if someone happens to be a carpenter. That doesn't matter. Not everyone can be a woodworm. Naturally, he, the human being, must have an understanding of everything, and with this carpenter's job, you are so often high up, you know, when one has covered a house. That's to say, when one has given it its roof, which is a bit like the head of the house, don't you think? From above you can observe everything, how it looks like below. Always observe everything from a higher vantage point, right? And make use of the divine so that one knows how to handle everything. Well, but a human being is capable of creating much, much more. That which he has created because God gave him a body, as he took in good thoughts and also put this desired good into practice. I certainly don't need to ask you about that. Everything is part of the spiritual path. Once there was nothing, not even one single thought. And then this person took in this thought, and that person took in that thought. When he intended to turn these thoughts into deeds, he reflected on his body, he made use of his body, and turned those thoughts into deeds. Everything that human hands have made. A human being is divine, and he remains that as well, even when he carries evil inside of him, even when he is led by evil, he remains divine. If he takes in evil thoughts, he will do evil. If he takes in good thoughts, he will do good. If he is living according to the will of the evil one, then he is serving the evil one. If he is living in accordance with the will of God, then he is serving God. So the choice, dear friends, is entirely up to you. And what wonderful things human hands have made. Yet they turn their backs on everything spiritual. Yet everything is part of the spiritual path. After all, human beings have been able to create everything. So to whom is he, the human being, indebted? To whom should he show his gratitude? Certainly only to God. He should not continue living this meaningless life which is the life that he has made for himself, saying, "With us things are like this, you see, they are like this, we must be like this, and we have only ever lived like this in our family, and we can't do that." In that way he has made many things his own, just picked it up from his next. He only listens to people. In doing that, he has lost the ability to listen to God. He simply lost it. He could not longer hear God. You see, that's what it all comes down to. There are many violinists, but only a few great performers. There are many people who have not just followed one study, they have followed several studies. But how many great men resulted from all of this? Here too you have so many great schools, high schools and so forth. Yes, but how many great performers have they produced? When did the last outstanding person come from one of the great schools here in Vienna? Who knows it? Please teach me also once in a while. You don't know, do you? It's already many years ago now that a great person came forth from them. I don't want to give you this as a task. Do you know it? No one knows, really no one, but it is very seldom that such a great person emerges. You know that, don't you? Or do you all become geniuses here in Vienna? No. You simply do not develop yourself. You don't take in anything. You say, that what I have learned is sufficient. Only few people do it. They take a bit in, that what other people don't take in. They say, there I got the opportunity, there I was advised, there I often... But now I take in the good thoughts and so on, and I put them into practice. Of course, at first he is being laughed at and ridiculed because people don't know anything about it, because it's something new for them. Didn't people laugh about everything, bad-mouthed, spoke bad about everything? Also about what people have created, what people have originated. Wasn't it always like this? Don't you see? You too will be laughed at and be ridiculed if you speak a lot about it and don't do anything. And when you have experienced the good, you see, and then testify, now it is completed. Now I have got everything back in my body again. I feel happy and I'm truly delighted with my life. I have no disturbances at all anymore. And I'm also not going to accept any more disturbances either. But it is also the case when human beings have made something about which they had already spoken beforehand, what they intended to create, what they wanted to accomplish, and then they were interrupted, and after this they couldn't do it. Then it was difficult, then they were obstructed and couldn't complete their work. I do not need to tell all of this to you. You are so well read. You know so much. You've read so many Cook and Bull stories already, so many novels and so many other stories. You certainly know a thing or two. In case you haven't, let someone else tell you, or better still, live your own story. Now, dear friends, I really have kept you here for a long time today. Are you cross with me because of it? The audience say, no, no. Or do you think that it would be good to stay together for a while longer, so that you really get thoroughly warmed up here? You have become warm enough here though, haven't you? And the audience is laughing. You see, it is exactly the same when you go somewhere. When you first arrived, you were not at all warm then. You were so timid at that time. Thank you, but no, and all of that. Until you warmed up, even in this family circle here. Yes, then you started to feel just as if you were at home. Do you also feel at home here today? And the friends answer yes, yes. But I ask you, are things at home like they are here, so peaceful? If not, then create peace, create order, then you have everything. Well, I would have had many questions to ask you, but it is much better, friends, if you ask yourselves questions. And then you will say, yes, Gröning, now I understand you. Yes, your patience and everything else, you're right. I no longer let myself be deprived of my peace, which I took into myself in the evening, in my house. I have never allowed this to be taken from me anymore. I have always taken care that it remains within me, and I actually feel well. Well, then you really have taken something with you. And then you will say, yes, I did believe it, but I have to tell him about the illness. He has to treat me, where there are many people here who say, I want nothing more than that he heals me. And that would be quite wrong. No one should say that to me. Everyone knows that I've never done anything like that, and that then nothing would happen. I know that too. One must really not speak about evil at all. You should not try to understand this with your mind, friends, but with your heart. If you've taken it to heart, and if it is also your heart's desire, and if you also believe that your heart's desire will be fulfilled if you still do not believe, then I will believe for you that it will be fulfilled. But it is sad for you if you cannot believe yet. You certainly should not be gullible, but please convince yourself now. And then I say, then you too can believe. Don't you get a cramp when you sit like that? You don't notice it anymore when you always keep your foot in that position, do you? You see, that's already a habit, but I would certainly also get a cramp if I were to strain myself like that. I mean, I can move it. That is, it's nothing, which means you may throw your legs all over the place, but, as I've said before, to tense up your body, your limbs, that's not good. But habit is habit. Subsequently, a human being can't be without it, and he has absolutely no idea what it causes. And now I believe, dear friends, that I have given you a great deal to take with you. Should I make an announcement about when the Christmas celebration is? People, they say, no, not yet. Well, you'll be lucky indeed, won't you? Alexander Loy says, yes, as long as the weather is okay. And Bruno says, if you have a celebration here, will you invite me? And people say, oh yes, oh yes. So I am necessary then? And the people say, yes, very necessary. Well, I don't believe that at all, really. But people say yes. Do you believe that you wouldn't manage it yourselves? Do you believe that you could not celebrate the feast properly on your own? And the people say, not that well, not so well. Good. If it is your heart's wish, then please let me know it via our close friends, who will then pass it on to me. If you, I do have this December month, please. It's not free at all for me. It's always completely booked up. I have already set aside some days for Austria. Good. Should your wish be so strong that I should come to you, your Christmas celebration, how you used to call it, you know well enough what I have given you about that to take with you. But should you still have the wish that I come, then please let our friends know about it. Above all, I will grant this wish of yours. I will come then. Well, if you feel happy about it, and if you believe that it is right, why shouldn't I come? Why should I avoid happiness? I also want to convince myself. I would also like to experience and witness this blessed hour with you. Taste it, not waste it. So, my dear friends, I now believe that I have told you what is most important today. And it's only something for you to be getting on with, an education. A woman says, thank you. Yes, and don't say now, thank you, Gröning. No, dear friends, never thank me. Let us all thank God for this. I wish you all the good. I wish you health and happiness for when we meet again. And the people say, we wish that for you too. I wish you much happiness and many blessings in all of your life. That's to say, for as long as you are allowed to be here on this earth. Now do not forget your next. From now on, do not take in evil anymore, but preserve your peace. If today you still can't ask, if you still can't pray, then I will ask for you and I will pray for you. And if you still cannot believe and have faith in yourself and in all the good that God has ordained for you, every single living being, then I will do that for you as well. You can't forbid me to do that. I do it, for that is why I am here. For this purpose time has been ordained, not only for me, but for you as well. All we have to do is to make use of our time. And now, dear friends, make good use of your time from now until we meet again. Once more, all the best to you. And the people say thank you, and this is the end of the peace speech. And this speech Bruno gave October the 29th in 1958, about 3 months before his passing.